All right, let's talk about something that's not just a trend, but a real strategic shift in higher ed, the 60-year curriculum. And trust me, this isn't some far-off future concept. It's what we need to be thinking about right now.
So, Professor Munir Gaharbabar has asked for a few minutes of your time to really dig into this idea. And I want to be crystal clear right from the get-go. This isn't just some abstract theory. We're talking about the very relevance, the viability of our institutions for the long haul.
So let's just cut right to the chase. For what, a century? The university model has been a 4, maybe 5-year sprint. Get in, get the degree, get out. But that world is gone. So the question for everyone in leadership today is this: is your institution built for a sprint when your students are now facing a 60-year marathon?
Okay, so here's our game plan for this briefing. We're going to cover 5 key things. First, why we even need to talk about this, the burning platform for change. Then, what this 60-year curriculum actually is. We'll get into a practical roadmap, bust some common myths, and finally, talk about the bottom line, the payoff.
All right, part 1. Let's start with the hard truth, the thing that's forcing this conversation. The idea that one degree, just one, is enough for a lifetime career? That idea is dead. It's over.
And here's why. You've got 2 massive tidal waves hitting us at the same time. 1, people are living way, way longer. And 2, technology is just tearing up and reinventing industries faster than we can keep up. So that old neat little path, school, work, retirement, it's completely shattered.
Think about this. In this new world, we're not talking about one career anymore. We're talking about people navigating 5, 6, even 7 different career stages. And every single one of those stages is going to require new skills, new knowledge. The old model of just loading everything up in the first 4 years, it just doesn't work. It can't support this.
This quote from Hunt Lambert over at Harvard just nails it. He basically says our system was perfectly designed for the industrial economy, an economy that, let's be honest, is long gone. So that begs the question, right? What does a university designed for today's economy actually look like?
And that's where we get to the solution. Let's dive into the vision of the 60-year curriculum. It's a whole new way of thinking, a new paradigm that's all about a lifelong partnership with our students.
So what is the 60-year curriculum, or 60YC at its heart? It's a strategic framework. It's about shifting your institution's mindset from a 4-year transaction to a 60-year relationship. You're no longer just selling a product. You're becoming a partner for a lifetime of growth.
And look, this isn't some flash-in-the-pan idea from one corner of the world. The term itself was coined by Dr. Gary Matkin at UC Irvine. It was fleshed out by heavy hitters at Harvard. And today, you've got institutions all over the globe. We're talking North America, Europe, Asia, actively putting this into practice. This is real.
I love this metaphor because it perfectly captures the shift. Your university stops being just a launch pad, where you shoot graduates off into the world and just hope they do well. Instead, you become their mission control. You're there for the whole journey, providing guidance, helping with course corrections, giving them those little booster shots of new skills when they need them.
Okay, so we've covered the why this is so urgent and the what, the big idea. But for any leadership team, the rubber meets the road with the how. So let's get practical. Let's talk about the roadmap for actually making this happen.
This isn't just a new program. It means re-engineering your core operations. Take the alumni office. It needs to become less about fundraising events and more about strategic student relationship management. And frankly, in many countries, it's already about that deep, meaningful engagement. Your career center? It's not just for seniors anymore. It's a lifelong hub. The registrar? They're now managing a living, breathing record of skills, not just a static transcript. Even enrollment has to change from a once-a-year scramble to a smooth, continuous process. Literally, every part of the university has to rethink its role.
So what are the big moves? There are 4 key operational shifts. 1, you've got to unbundle the traditional degree into smaller, stackable micro-credentials. 2, your technology has to change. You need to move from a basic student information system to a powerful CRM that manages relationships. 3, you'll need new kinds of people, like learning concierges, whose job is to guide learners through their entire career. And 4, the big one, money. You have to explore new financial models, think subscriptions or individual learning account.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. A change this big is going to raise some eyebrows and a lot of tough questions. So let's get ahead of that and tackle some of the biggest myths head on.
Myth number 1. Oh, this is just a fancy name for continuing education. No, absolutely not. The reality is, this has to be a fundamental shift in the core mission of the entire university.
It's not a siloed departmental project. It's an all-hands-on-deck institutional strategy.
Myth number 2. This is only for the big, wealthy, elite universities. You know, it's funny, but the opposite is often true. Your community colleges, your regional public universities, they're often in a better position to make this happen. Why? Because they've been working with adult learners and local industries for decades. They already have the DNA.
Okay, last myth. Do you literally mean 60 years? Well, not exactly. Let's be realistic. The prime window for paid upskilling and retraining is probably that 40 to 45-year stretch from, say, age 25 to 65. But look, don't get hung up on the number. The number isn't the point. The principle of a lifelong partnership, that's what's crucial.
All right, so this all leads to the big question, the one every leader has to ask. What's the payoff? What's the ROI on making such a huge strategic shift?
Well, the return on investment here isn't just one thing. It's threefold. First, there's the financial value. We're talking brand new, sustainable revenue streams. Then there's the strategic value. This is what keeps you relevant and competitive. And finally, there's the social value. You become an absolutely essential engine for your entire region's economy.
Let's just put it all together. You create new revenue models that aren't tied to the traditional tuition roller coaster. That deepens your relationship with alumni, turning it into a true partnership. This makes you a critical hub for your local and regional economy. And what's the end result of all that? You've just future-proofed your institution. You've guaranteed your relevance in a world that is constantly changing.
So here's the bottom line. The 60-year curriculum isn't some nice-to-have feature. It's a strategic imperative. It is, and I don't think this is an exaggeration, the key to the relevance and, frankly, the survival of higher education in the 21st century.
Look, the future of learning is a marathon, not a sprint. The work to get your institution ready for its next 60 years, that starts right now. So the only real question left is, how are you going to lead the change?